do you find here? When you say the sun and the moon in the fourth, it naturally refers to a waning moon, a moon that is lacking in Pakshabala. Secondly, sun and moon in the fourth means the Karaka moon is in the fourth house, which is not good for the Matrusthana. You know the Karaka, the relevant Karaka in the relevant Bhava destroys the Bhava. Then there is Saturn in the seventh house. Saturn is 11th Lord. For Mesha Lagna, what is Saturn? He is a Path Bhadaka. So, for Mesha Lagna, this combination would mean the fourth Lord moon is very weak. Matrakaraka moon is in Matrusthana. Then the moon is lacking in Pakshabala. Then Bhadaka Shani is aspecting the moon and the sun. So that is a basic affliction which does not show anything good. So in the context of a pregnant woman in an advanced stage of pregnancy, when such a combination occurs, then the possibility for a cesarean section, when I say the possibility of a cesarean section, it would imply likewise, you can look at the ascendant Taurus, sun and moon in the fourth house, Saturn aspecting. You can go through all the 12 lagnas and you can draw your own conclusions. But the dominant factor is Matrakaraka moon is heavily afflicted. One, he has no Pakshabala. Two, he is in Matrusthana, which is not good. Three, he is aspected by malefic Saturn. Likewise for Gemini, Cancer, you can try it for on the 12 Rashis as ascendants. Now, a cesarean section is usually recommended when the pregnancy is complicated. So, the expectant mother is usually taken to the doctor for monthly checkups, and the doctor may say this is a complicated pregnancy, its conditions are so found. So when that happens, and when such conditions are present, after the 7th month, then you should be geared for a cesarean section any time. And as I said before, the sun and the moon together, sign-wise, that means it should be Chaturdashi, Krishna Chaturdashi, or Amavasya, or Shukla Parjami, but with the sun and moon being in the same sign. Now this combination says sun and moon in the 4th house from Lagna, Saturn in the 7th from Lagna. But as I said before, we don't have the Lagna because birth has not taken place. So you forget about the Lagna. You look at only the sun, moon and Saturn. You find their mutual positions are such that sun and moon will be in the 10th from Saturn. So, in a case of a complicated pregnancy, you note down the position of Gochara Shani. For example, where is Saturn now? Saturn is in Tula in Libra. whenever in Gochara, the sun and the moon come to the 10th from Gochara Shani, it can be a delicate period for a woman with a complicated pregnancy when she may develop conditions that would call for a cesarean section. First of all, the case you are handling should be of a woman with a complicated pregnancy. Secondly, you should be looking at these positions only after the 7th month when a cesarean section is possible. Now there is another combination also from Jataka Parijata, which says, it is from chapter 4, sloka 8, for those of you who would like to go to the original text. If the ascendant and the moon be aspected by malefic planets or papagrahas, at the same time, they should not be aspected or connected with Shubhagrahas. And if Jupiter is not in a Kendra, the mother of the newborn dies. Whenever the sloka says the mother dies, it means there are complications at delivery. If there are no complications at delivery, the mother does not usually die. So here in this combination, both the ascendant and the moon are aspected by papagrahas. Both the ascendant and the moon are not aspected by Shubhagrahas or connected with Shubhagrahas in any way, and Jupiter should not be in a Kendra. When I say Jupiter should not be in a Kendra, what does it mean? It is with reference to Lagna. But we do not have the Lagna because we are looking at the pre-birth situation. Birth has not taken place for us to have the factor of Lagna before us. So we have to focus on the moon alone, whose position of course will be apparent. So in the case of a complicated pregnancy, when transit moon, Gochara Chandra, comes under affliction, he comes into conjunction with Mars or Saturn, there is no favorable influence on the moon, then a woman can develop complications necessitating a cesarean section or medical intervention. The next combination also from Jataka Parijata, chapter 4, sloka 9. When the moon is in conjunction with Saturn and the sun is in the 12th from the ascendant and Mars is in the 4th, both the mother and the child die. So there are three conditions in this sloka. One is moon should be in conjunction with Saturn. Sun should be in the 12th from the ascendant. Mars is in the 4th from the ascendant. But again, there is no ascendant before us, right? So we focus on the moon, sun and Mars, which are the factors in this combination. The condition number 1 is moon should be with Saturn. So, just taking the present planetary positions, Saturn being in Libra, whenever Chandra comes to Libra, and this should be in the 7th month or after of a complicated pregnancy. The other condition revolves around the positions of the Sun and Mars. Now, take a speculative ascendant Aries. According to the sloka, Sun is in the 12th from the ascendant, Mars is in the 4th from the ascendant. This is what the chart shows. Now, you remove the ascendant because you don't know the ascendant. Just look at the relative positions of the Sun and Mars. Mars is in the 5th from the Sun. That means Mars is about to become stationary before turning direct. Now Mars takes a longer duration of time to transit the sign than Sun. So you focus on Mars. Whenever the Sun comes to the 9th from Mars, it could be a delicate period for a complicated pregnancy after the 7th month. Now these planetary positions can be calculated well in advance. If there is a pregnant woman in your family and the doctor says it's a complicated pregnancy, you can get the planetary positions for the 7th month onwards. And when these positions of the Sun and Mars obtain, relative positions of the Sun and Mars obtain, and at the same time, transit moon touches or enters the sign where Gochara Shani is, it could mean an emergency condition which would call for sudden cesarean section. The moon, he will be in a sign for about 2.5 days approximately. So when the moon enters, if you consider the present planetary positions of Saturn and moon, Saturn being in Libra, and when Sun and moon are in mutual 5 and 9 positions, moon enters Libra to come into Rashi conjunction with Shani. It becomes a sensitive period for the pregnant woman. The next sloka is from again Jataka Parijata, chapter 4, sloka 10. If the ascendant and the moon be devoid of aspects and be between two malefic planets, the young woman and her child die together or separately. Now the conditions required by this sloka are: ascendant should be between Papagrahas, Chandra should be in a Papakakkari yoga, neither the Lagna nor the moon should receive benefic aspects. Now again, forget about the ascendant, we don't have that vital piece of data. We'll focus only on the moon. So whenever moon comes under a Papakakkari yoga in Gochara, and a woman is in a difficult pregnancy and has crossed the 7th month, you should be geared for conditions necessitating a cesarean section. The next sloka, please note down the sloka carefully. I will continue after the book distribution is over because your attention is all diverted to it. Friends, shall we continue? Yes. When malefic planets occupy the 6th, 8th and the 12th from the ascendant, we all know the 6th, 8th and the 12th are Sustanas. So here, what is required is Papagrahas occupying the 6th, 8th and 12th houses from the ascendant, and they are not in conjunction with benefic planets, and additionally Venus or Jupiter is between Papagrahas. The lying-in woman dies forthwith. So the conditions of this sloka are, you have malefics in the 6th, 8th and 12th from the Lagna. Then these Papagrahas, they receive no benefic aspect or influence. Now, the combination is with reference to the Lagna. We don't have the Lagna. Birth hasn't taken place yet, right? So, malefic is 6th, 8th and 12th. That means, when you are looking at the 6th and 12th houses, two malefics are in opposition, right? So, even without the Vajit data of Lagna, when the sloka says the 6th, 8th and 12th houses occupied by Papagrahas, the 6th and the 12th are mutually opposite houses. It implies when there is an opposition between Papagrahas, two Papagrahas, and there is another Papagraha in the 8th from the ascendant, then conditions develop for a cesarean section. Again, coming to the 8th, I'll elaborate on that because we don't have the ascendant. So, such opposition can be, when Sun and Mars are in opposition, what happens? When Mars reaches the sign opposite that occupied by the Sun, for example, now the Sun is in Kumbha Rashi. If there is someone with a complicated pregnancy and she has crossed her 7th month, should Mars come to Leo when Sun is in Kumbha? Now that is already over. But speculatively, when Mars should come into the 7th from the Sun, then the woman can suffer bleeding or in other ways undergo conditions that require a C-section. So likewise, when Mars and Saturn come into opposition after the 7th month, that will be a delicate period for her. Then Rahu and Mars, Ketu and Mars, Saturn, Rahu, Saturn, Ketu. But both Papagrahas should not have a Shubhagraha either in conjunction or aspecting them. At the same time, when two Papagrahas come into mutual opposition, and at the same time Jupiter or Venus is in a Papakartri yoga, then it becomes a serious critical period for the pregnant woman. In chart 3, it's wrongly shown as moon. You just note it as ascendant, a speculative ascendant measure. You have the first condition in chart 3. Papagrahas in 6th, 8th and 12th houses from Mesha Lagna. That is condition number 1 of the sloka. The second condition is they should not be influenced by Shubhagrahas by aspect or association. The third condition is either Jupiter or Venus should be in a Papakartri yoga when a medical emergency will be developing. So in chart 4, you will find ascendant is Taurus. You have Shani in the 6th house, a natural Papagraha. Ravi in the 8th house. And Mars in the 12th house. So 6th, 8th and 12th are occupied by Papagrahas. Then the opposition Mars and Saturn, 6th and 12th houses, has evil planets. Then you have Guru and Shukra in Makara or Capricorn. That means Guru and Shukra both come under a Papakartri yoga from Ketu and Ravi, right? The sloka requires any one of these. If both are under a Papakartri yoga, it is all the more serious and medical condition. So, for this speculative planetary positioning, now you can forget about the ascendant. All the other planets can be in their places in Gochara. When such Gochara mutual positions obtain, when Gochara relative positions obtain, then a medical intervention will be necessary in the case of a woman in complicated pregnancy after the 7th month. Now if you look at the planetary positions, Papagrahas and Dusthana, 6th, 8th and 12th. In chart 4, it is Libra, Sagittarius and Aries that are the signs involved. Now 6th and 12th can easily be identified because two planets in opposition. But what about the 8th house? Here the 8th house is the Sun, which means the Sun is in the 3rd from one of the Papagrahas. So when you have the Gochara positions such that two Papagrahas are in mutual opposition and another Papagraha is in the 3rd from one of these Papagrahas, then all the conditions of the sloka are fulfilled, which means some kind of complication can develop for which you should be, the family should be ready. Now this is another sloka. It is also found in Brihat Jataka. Maybe the wording is a little different. But here what it says is, when the Lord of month of advanced pregnancy, that is pregnancy after the 7th month, is malefic, evil planets occupy the ascendant, and the 7th house being neither in conjunction with benefic planets nor aspected by them, the pregnant woman meets with death in consequence of a weapon or instrument. The Sanskrit word used is Shastrena Mrityum Samupaiti Garbhini. The word used for weapon is Shastra. Now Shastra can be a weapon or it could be the surgical instrument. But since we are dealing with complications in pregnancy, we will rule out the possibility of Shastra as a weapon. But on a total basis, you cannot completely rule out this possibility because you can say A pregnant woman may also be caught in riots and she may be hit by some weapon or by a blunt object and therefore die. But now since we are considering only pregnancy and surgical need for C-sections, we will interpret the term Shastra only as the surgeon's scalpel. So when the lord of a month of advanced pregnancy is malefic, and evil planets occupy the ascendant and the 7th house, being neither in conjunction with benefic planets nor aspected by them, the pregnant woman meets with death in consequence of a weapon or instrument. So when these conditions obtain, if a cesarean section is being done, the possibility of the woman dying will go up. Now it says Lord of the month. What does that mean? Can any one of you here answer this question, Lord of the month? I would like you to answer, in the middle I'll be asking you questions because that way at least I can ensure you're all not dozing off. Now according to both Jataka Parijata and Varaha Mihira's Brihad Jataka, the 9 months of pregnancy come under the rulership of different planets. The first month comes under Shukra. The second month comes under Kuja. The sloka reference in Brihad Jataka is chapter 4, 16th sloka. Brihad Jataka, chapter 4, sloka 16. The first month comes under Shukra. The second month comes under Kuja. The third month comes under Guru. That is when the organs are supposed to be sprouting. The fourth month, Asti or the bones form. Fifth month comes under the moon when the skin begins to develop. The sixth month comes under Shani when the fetus gets its hair. Seventh month, until the 7th month, the fetus is only a mass of flesh. In the 7th month, which comes under the rulership of Buddha or Jna, consciousness descends into the fetus. That is, a Jivatma makes its entry into the ball of flesh in the womb of the mother. 8th month is again ruler of conception. I'll come to that later. 9th month ruled by the moon. And in the 10th month, after 9 months are over,